At first, Polina thought she had found the right guy. Artem seemed simple, calm, and reliable. No grand speeches, no exaggerated promises, just a reassuring presence. They would meet at the office during lunch break. They talked about everything, their day, their desires, their plans. And little by little she grew attached. After a difficult breakup, he seemed like a refuge, something stable, something real. Very quickly they moved in together. A modest apartment, a simple life, morning coffee, dinners in the evening, TV shows on the couch, quiet weekends. Polina thought she was building a future, a real one. Then Artem's mother became part of their daily life. Valentina Mikhailovna, a critical, intrusive woman, always dissatisfied. Nothing was ever good enough. The apartment was too small, their life too modest, their plans too slow. Polina responded politely. She tried to stay calm, but with each visit she felt a little more drained. Artem always said the same thing. "Don't pay attention, that's just my mother, she worries about me," so Polina put up with it. Again and again. Then Artem got a promotion. Finally, she thought, they would be able to save money, plan a trip, think about buying their own apartment, build something solid. But the money disappeared. The bonuses came and went. When she talked about replacing the old refrigerator, Artem said it wasn't the right time. When she mentioned going on vacation, he said they had to wait. When she asked where the money had gone, he was vague. Then, one evening, she heard the truth. Artem was on the phone with his mother and he said, "Yes, Mom, how much do you need? Okay, I'll transfer it to you tomorrow." At that moment, everything became clear. The money was going to her, always to her. The bonuses, the efforts, the postponed plans. Everything came after his mother. Polina tried to talk about it calmly. She wasn't saying that he shouldn't help his mother. She was only saying that a couple should talk about money, that a couple decides together, that a wife isn't supposed to find out by chance or through the shared budget. But Artem would get defensive every time. For him, the answer was simple. She's my mother, I have to help her. And little by little, Polina understood something even more painful. The problem wasn't just the money. The problem was her place. When she spoke, Artem barely listened. He would answer without really hearing her. Distracted, absent, but when his mother called, he changed. His voice became gentle, his eyes lit up. He laughed, he listened. He was present. With Polina, he shared an apartment. With his mother, he shared his real attention. And that day, something cracked for good. On the day of their 3rd anniversary, Artem forgot. No flowers, no dinner, not even a word. The next day, Polina heard him promise his mother more money again. For his wife, nothing. For his mother, always everything. So she asked him a simple question. "Do I matter to you?" But he kept talking about duties, about sacrifices, about his mother. Always about his mother. Never about her, never about them. Then she asked him, "And towards me, do you have any obligations to me?" And Artem answered without hesitation. "Of course, but my mother is more important. Always, always." That word destroyed everything. Not with a loud crash, no, but in a cold final silence. That evening, Polina came home earlier. Artem was still on the phone with his mother, smiling, gentle, available. She went into the bedroom, took out a bag, and started packing her things. Artem looked at her, stunned. "What are you doing?" She replied, "I'm leaving." He tried to downplay it, to say she was overreacting, as always. But this time, she didn't want to explain anymore. She didn't want to beg to exist anymore. She looked at him and told the truth, the only truth that mattered. "I've spent 3 years living with a man who is never really here. You're here in body, but your whole life revolves around your mother. Every decision, every thought, every ruble." And when she closed her bag, she added in a calm voice, "You're not a husband, you're just an extension of your mommy's bank card." Silence fell. Then Artem exploded. He shouted, he insulted her, he accused her of being selfish. But Polina was no longer listening. Because for the first time in a long while, she saw things clearly. She had never been his priority. She had never truly been his choice. So she left without looking back. In the taxi, she was hurting, of course, but behind the pain, there was something else. Relief. The relief of no longer fighting for a place that no one really wanted to give her. In the days that followed, Artem called, then wrote. He said she had destroyed their relationship, that she hadn't understood his family values, that she was asking for the impossible. Polina read it, then erased everything. And she blocked him. A month later, she rented an apartment just for herself. She chose the curtains, the paintings, the objects, the silence. And for the first time in a long while, she breathed. Truly, when a friend asked her if she regretted leaving, Polina replied, "No, I only regret not leaving sooner, because helping his mother wasn't the real problem. The real problem was that there was no room for anyone else, not for a woman, not for a couple, not for a real life together." Months later, she ran into Artem again. He said that he understood, that he wanted to change, that he regretted it. But even then, he was still talking about himself, about his regrets, his pain, his realization. Never about her, never about what she had gone through. So Polina simply replied, "Too late." And she left again, without anger, without hatred, just with clarity. Because a relationship without respect is not love. A relationship without balance is not a couple. And a relationship where you have to beg for your place is not worth staying in. Polina had finally understood something essential. It's better to leave alone than to stay where you never truly exist.